Welcome back. I'm Gaurav Kapoor and you're watching DuPont Presents The Power of Shunya, The Quest for Zero. Before the break, we took you through India's rich legacy of a scientific temper and examined the key challenges facing us. Well, over this session, we analyze how Shunya is not just a concept, but can and should be made into a culture that India can strive towards. Joining me now, along with Dr. Homi Badwar, who's still here, continues to be a part of our discussion, is Mr. Ravi Pandit. He is the Chairman and Group CEO of KPIT Technologies Limited, which has come up with a revolutionary smart technology Revolo, which transforms cars into fuel-efficient vehicles. 30 to 40% reduction in emission. We'll talk about that in just a second. Also with us is Mr. Vikas Shah, the Chief Operating Officer of Water Health Private Limited, which efficiently purifies any source of water to WHO quality drinking water standards. And that's no easy task in a country like India, where more than half the people have no access to clean drinking water. And we also have Mr. Rajiv Karwal, who was part of our challenge jury. He's the CEO of Milagro Business and Knowledge Solutions, which pioneers solutions to address the problem of pollution and harnesses robots to do the task. There he is. So, gentlemen, let's quickly bring you in on the innovation of it, of the innovation question that we had asked at the end of the segment, the previous segment. Is that the only way out for India and India's problems?
Definitely, yes. Because the magnitude of any issue in India is huge, and especially the population, the length and breadth of the country. We
don't have small problems, right? All the problems are always gigantic.
Huge. Of course, geographically you are big, then the variation in the geography itself, the population, the languages, the religion, and the conditions. So, any problem which you are trying to solve has multifarious solutions and has to have lots of layers in it. Yes. So obviously innovation is the only way, and the innovation which is easy to understand, it's easy to disseminate, and is conceived in such a way which is scalable, replicable all across.
Innovation for the sake of innovation is irrelevant. Innovation has to be relevant. So many a times I see inventors or scientists falling in love with their technology and falling in love with their innovation, which is completely irrelevant. It has no basis whatsoever. If you're solving a problem and it's for the right reasons, the flow of the tide will take you to greater successes.
Yes. Are there a lot of challenges in India surrounding innovation? And if yes, what are they?
Obviously we need to innovate to solve our problems. Obviously we need more than just innovation to solve the problem. And that more than just innovation is actually building a complete solution. It calls for science. I believe it also calls for technology as well as engineering. And I think it also calls for a social system, which is where I think you are alluding to, that you need to have a society which is receptive to innovative ideas. You need to have even governmental policies which allow you to take some chances. And if you put all of that together, that is when you got the solution. I also believe it's a question of mindset. See, we don't realize that we get more energy from the sun in an hour than the humanity consumes in a year. So if we can harness technology to capture that energy, a part of that energy, we have solved the problem. Every problem is solvable by the human ingenuity. And we need solutions on the technology side, and we need solutions on the social side.
And the commercial side as well.
Yeah, but the thing is that the issue, according to me, Ravi, is much, much deeper. It starts with the fact that not every innovator is an entrepreneur, right? Not every innovator actually understands the true potential of his or her idea. Then it is about building a team itself, which understands, and the work culture which exists in India, right? The way education exists in India, the science and technology and the supporting institutions which actually will be able to create a product which is commercializable from the idea stage to taking it across the globe. I think that is where, as a country, we are lacking hugely.
There is something we need to be thinking about, how we start this whole interest in science and interest in our education system, and how we can get people to really think out of the box. We can't have a dabbawala thing happen once in a blue moon. We need to have this happen over and over and over.
But does the education system even encourage any of that? Isn't it just you have to do rote learning, there's 50 people in a class, there's one teacher, get the course done, get them, there's somebody else's problem? Because even now, the pecking order is that science science is supposed to be, oh, you're the intelligent ones, and then there's commerce, and then there's art. So which is why you have a lot of peer pressure, people getting into science who would actually be better artists.
Simple thing, if you internalize, you never have to memorize.
Nice.
Our education system doesn't let you or encourage you to internalize knowledge, and that is where maximum problems actually occur.
We also had Mr. Anupam Kher, who was on his own quest. So let's listen to him and what he has to say about his learnings across that 15-week journey.
I have learned that innovation can come from anywhere, from ideas that were born between brothers who knew that there was a better way to reuse our mounting piles of electronic waste, to a grandson whose grandfather's daunting midnight trek to the fields motivated him, to search for farming automation solutions. The stories and histories behind each innovation have been magnificent and unique. But the one thing these innovations have in common is their passionate pursuit of Shunya. And I have learned that with the power of science and innovation, we can go a long way. We have seen ideas that have harnessed process of biology, ideas that use basic physics, and ideas that rely on principles of engineering. Through innovative thought, these visionaries have used their own personal knowledge and expertise to address a critical challenge. It is this attitude of innovation that we must continue to pursue.
Do you think, I mean, we talk about it, and whenever we talk about our country and the lack of systems, and there's this air of almost hopelessness that comes in. But do you think, looking at people around you and the generations to come, that need not be like that anymore?
There are islands of excellence and successes, and then there's a vast majority which is probably untouched. And if you ask me personally, I'm unhappy with the ripple effect or the tipping point. If you ask me, are we at the tipping point? We're not at the tipping point, because these islands of success and excellences are so much insulated, in a manner of speaking, that it will take a lot of effort to unleash the systems, the processes, the knowledge, the experiences, so that the rest of the universe benefits from that. And it's not going to be easy, because people are so in such remote areas. Accessing them, making systems viable, and reaching out to them is not going to be an easy task. And to that extent, we'll have to work the hardest for the remaining years of our retirement.
There are big problems, big challenges facing the world, facing India. We are going to need to strive, to reach out to those, aspire to those challenges, find a way to solve them. I believe that these are big enough, complex enough that you require science to do that. You require collaboration to do that. And with the aspiration of Shunya in that framework, with science and collaboration, I think that's a great future. So I feel very optimistic about that.
So do I.
So thank you, Homi. Thank you. It's been a pleasure as usual.
It was a lot of fun, and I think both these programs on Shunya, the Quest and the Challenge were wonderful programs.
Well, they really have been, you know, and what emerges clearly from that is there are a few changes required, few tweaks that are required, not just in processes, but also in mindset. So we do have sort of enormous challenges facing us, but there is optimism and there is hope, and on the basis of innovation that we can change them, not just at the grassroots level, but right through all the way to the top. But yeah, as we said, all the stakeholders need to collaborate. Well, that's all we have from our panelists here and from me, Gaurav Kapoor, but we still have Mr. Anupam Kher, and it's over to you, sir.
This quest has been a far-reaching one. We have met over 40 companies, 100 passionate innovators, and 45 science-driven ideas. Our search has proven that just as India asserted its scientific and intellectual rigor 1500 years ago when it discovered Shunya, so do we prove our scientific capabilities each and every day. But the search must go on. There is still much more we can do. We will have to work together to ensure that we harness the power of Shunya to solve our greatest challenges. If you have an idea or innovation that you feel should be featured in next season's Quest for Zero, write to us at powerofshunya13@timesgroup.com. And don't forget to tune into Challenge for Zero to meet the young Aryabhattas who are advancing India on our quest for Shunya. Thanks to all of you who have tuned in this season. It's me, Anupam Kher, saying goodbye. And remember, stay inspired.